Never
I'm
have
live.
too many lights.
Your connection is unstable. Please wait. Oh man, bad connection already. Not good. We're off to a bad start, folks. And B&B guests, more B&B guests are checking in a half hour, which is going to really mess things up. Anyway, it's not going to be a long live stream, so if you're in there, hop in and say hi. The other B&B guests that just booked the other room are going to be checking. Like I say, they're in Ganges right now, and they're on their way here soon. So if they get on the internet, it's going to really mess things up for me. Anyway, looks like those two palms that I have that I thought were maybe trithrinics could possibly be Sereno repens, which is okay. And that's what you guys are saying anyway. So, hey, Sereno repens are okay, and so are trithrinics. But we got one of them in the ground. We'll see how it does. I was just in town. It's crawling with tourists. Ganges is a freaking a zoo of tourists. So I went down to beachside and had a coffee, filled up my motorcycle with gas, and then headed back home. Figured I'd do this live stream, get it out of my system before the guests arrive. And we got guests up on top at the other B&B for 4 days. They came here. They're from Calgary. Where are these B&B guests from, the ones that are checking in? Do you know? Hey, Duck Killer Clyde. It must be nice and warm down there. We have 24 degrees Celsius here, 58% humidity. So this kind of looks like ice cream, but it's actually frozen yogurt. Tastes good. Oh, you know what we had for dinner last night? Our friend came over from the mainland and we had bison. So we had barbecued bison. Oh my God. Was that bison good, eh, Wendy? It was like so tender. Plenty warm. Betty is at work. Cool. Yeah, Wendy got the day off today, but she got to go back to work tomorrow, and she's working yesterday and then working here, of course, doing the B&Bs. Bison is so good. I actually like it better than beef. It was I always thought they were buffalo, but they're not buffalo. Bison is not a buffalo. And you probably already know that. So the guy that brought it over, our friend, he had it marinating all night with ginger, garlic. What else?
Organic teriyaki.
And teriyaki. Oh. And you didn't, how did you do the medium rare or medium? Medium rare. Oh my God. Tomorrow is the best day of the year. It is the 4th of July. We had our birthday. We had our birthday.
Canada Day is the best day of the year.
We had Canada Day on the Thursday, so it's weird. Our holiday was on July 1st. Of course, it's off. It's a stat holiday, but I took Friday off as well because I can't stand when stat holidays fall in the middle of the week or sometime during the week, and then you got to take it off, and then you go back to work the next day. So I took Friday off. So I got like a 4-day long weekend, and I'm assuming you guys get Monday off too, which is good, and you should get Monday off. So you guys going to have a big party and celebrations on Sunday, fireworks and everything. They didn't do fireworks here this year. They didn't do fireworks, did they, Wendy? Usually they do a big fireworks display in town out in the ocean. Max Lax, hello, how's it going? Good to see you in there. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. Way more comfortable than it was last week, I'll tell you that. This is the way I like it. So a beautiful blue sky. Okay. And there's a slight, very, very slight ocean breeze. It was actually nice riding the motorbike today through town. And it wasn't sickening hot like last time. I was talking to my friend, a chef at one of the restaurants in town. So she was working on the hottest days last week. And she says it was like 58 degrees Celsius in its kitchen. I don't even know you can work in that crap. We got to 109.1. So 42.9 degrees Celsius is the highest temperature I recorded in our South Slope Stevenson screen. It was absolutely gross. I didn't like that heat at all. And neither did our garden, because every time I look each day, I'm seeing more damage showing up on the plants. We got these aloe-like gasteria plants that I bought at Home Depot a few years ago, and I didn't think they were that hardy, but they've been surviving the winters and everything. The freaking heat, man, fried these things, just cooked them, and they're all burnt up, and the fatsias are burnt, and the palms have some burn on them right here. The crocosmia, 116. Oh, it's crazy. That is hot. Lytton, northeast of us on the mainland, hit 121.1 degrees Fahrenheit. 116, you guys. That is crazy. Well, you guys have air conditioning, thank God. I should hope you do. I don't know. Like, we had a tough time sleeping in that stupid heat. And so Wendy's got these two fans set up. You got one in the bedroom. We have one fan in the bedroom blowing the heat around. And that's what it was. It was just blowing the heat around in the bedroom. I had a crappy sleep for 3 or 4 days. And, now that it's cooled, no AC. Oh my God. You're kidding. I thought you guys would have AC there. Oh, I don't know how you slept, man, because there's no way to get comfortable in that heat. You come outside and it's like a freaking furnace. Inside was bad enough. I couldn't get any relief from it. It was like it was the most uncomfortable feeling I've ever felt here. And I don't want that heat anymore. This is nice right now. I can't function in extreme heat and I can't function in extreme cold. We're poor, no AC. Well, we don't have AC here. I mean, there's a few people on Salt Spring Island that have it, but very few. Most people have heat exchange or a heat pump where it actually takes the air outside and it cools it. And then it does it in the wintertime, it'll take the cool air and warm it. But we can't afford one of those things. So we buy cheap fans to blow the heat around in the house.
Oh, they're actually nice fans.
Well, Wendy says they're nice fans to blow the heat around in the house. So we have actually nice fans to blow the 100-degree Fahrenheit heat around in the house in our
They're
bedroom.
stainless steel fans.
No, they are
like
nice
the old
fans.
school.
Yeah.
And then I also have the tower. Which
Yeah,
those are
she's
expensive.
got a tower that kind of oscillates. It kind of turns.
And then I have old school.
Yeah, you got a stainless steel old school one too that
they're
oscillates.
really
But
nice.
you have the windows open. You think you're going to let some cool air in, but it was hot outside, wasn't it? Wasn't it sick? Even in the shade was so flippant. Like that's shade temperature, man. It was a shade temperature that hot, and your temperature was that hot in the shade. So when you're in the sun, it's way hotter. And we came out of our kitchen, these doors right here. See those doors right there? So we walked out of those doors right there, those French doors, and it honestly felt like, say you're cooking a turkey or say you're cooking a swan. Say you went out hunting and you got yourself a nice swan and you're cooking it in your oven there, you're baking the swan or whatever you do, and your oven's 390 degrees or 400 degrees, whatever you're cooking the thing at, and you open it up to look at that swan, and that's what it feels like, just a blast of heat coming out. So we open up those doors and it was like this most uncomfortable, grossest blast of heat that would hit you. And it's just like, so you know what I did? I walked across the beach to the street, walked through the nature trail, and I jumped in the ocean with the dog. And by the time the dog walked through the nature trail, which is about a 3 to 5 minute walk, he was like panting, and it's not good for dogs either. And he jumped in the ocean too. It was so nice. That was like such a relief to get into that water. It was like, oh, the lakes have been packed. Everything's packed here right now, but our beach is nice and quiet. So thank God for that. So if it gets hot again, spend more time at the beach, jump in. If you got a pool or a sprinkler system, under the sprinkler system, it's just like, now you know what Arizona's like, right? Clyde, that's what they got to put up with pretty much every freaking day. No thanks. Not for me. I couldn't live. I couldn't live in Arizona. In the wintertime, I think it'd be absolutely perfect, but I don't know how people do it in the summertime. We took my duck boat to the Columbia. Oh, did you? Wow. So how was the Columbia? Did you jump in? And it's probably nice and was refreshing. I bet you the Columbia River. Huh? I've been down there to Columbia River. It's beautiful. I've never swam in it or anything, but I bet you it's nice and refreshing. Or maybe it's warmed up. The lakes here are really, really warm, and especially surface. You go down like 6 feet, really warm, but below that it's going to cool off. And west side of the ocean's really extremely warm right now. And oh, don't play that. You can't play that music. Don't play that here. So anyway, that's cool. Well, at least you got a boat. We have a 6-foot rowboat, and Wendy's got a couple of kayaks. But I just, like I say, just went for a little swim, sat in the ocean, and it was really nice. Yes, it was warm like bathwater. Could it be cool? Yeah, that's like the lakes here too. It was. They say it's warm like bathwater, and the west side of Salt Spring Island's like a heated swimming pool. That's how warm the ocean is over there right now. So it's okay, but it's not super refreshing. This side of the ocean is cooler, and it was super nice. Oh God, when you're in there on a hot day, and the minute the dog got in the ocean, he stopped panting. Right? He likes to swim, this little guy, but he didn't like the heat. He did not like the heat. I think dogs can get freaking like heat stroke or something from that. They said up to 500 people died from that heat that we had here on our coast. Up to 500 people died from heat related um, illness, right? Like I guess heat stroke, probably a lot of old people. What type of palm is Serrano Repens? Oh, that is a saw palmetto. It's a saw palmetto, and we have two of them. And I was thinking, at first I did a video on it ages ago. I thought maybe Trithronyx or Serrano, and then I thought Trithronyx for sure. But people are saying it looks more like Serrano Repens, so that's okay. Serrano Repens are beautiful palms, and I did plant one in the ground there a while back. Doing okay. They do like a lot of heat. Didn't phase it in the heat we had there. And so I got another one in the greenhouse. I'm going to let that one grow in the greenhouse a little bit longer. And then maybe next year I'll plant it somewhere in the garden. So I grew those, like I say, from seed, Max. They are beautiful palms. They're like the suckering palm from the southeastern United States. And Florida, I think they grow like weeds. They're probably, I'm guessing, maybe Alabama. You're going to see them, maybe even southern Georgia. But I know there's a lot of them in Florida. They just grow everywhere down there. And that's okay. That'd be a good kind of weed to have, eh? A Serrano repens. They actually use Serrano repens as some sort of supplement. Men use it. You can buy it at the pharmacy in the supplement section, like a vitamin, right? It's good for men to take that when they get older. So they put it in the pill form. I guess it comes from the seeds, right? But apparently mine's the blue form. That's what somebody said in the comments. It's the blue form of Serrano repens. How old until it gets a trunk? Oh God, it's probably going to be a while. I'm trying to think how even old those things are. I mean, they're several years old, right? So this far north, it's going to take a little longer because you got to remember we're in the north here, man. We're not in the south. But with heat like this, it probably, I mean, if we had consistent heat like we had last week, then it would probably be growing a trunk a lot faster than it would in this 75-degree weather we're having today, right? They like a lot of heat. They got very, very stiff fronds, which I really like. Kind of Camaropsy like, and I love Camarops too. So I don't know. I remember there was a nursery south of Vancouver that actually had large Serrano repens for sale, but they were so expensive. They had large needle palms, big trunk palmettos, and Serrano repens. Do you own elderberries? Yes, we have some beautiful elderberries in our garden. We have the black lace, and then we have another one. They're long gone, bloomed already. Then we have another one with dark foliage on it and really nice kind of pink. They're pink, slightly fragrant flowers. And then we have two or three black lace, which are really, really nice. But we don't have any native ones on our property. I know of one growing at our park shop that they're probably gonna cut down because it's self-seeded under the overhang by the building. So I might dig it out and just plant it in the forest down here because I like elderberry. They're kind of cool. Elderberries and salmonberries grow. Yeah, and same here. Like we don't have elderberries on our property, but they're everywhere in the forest. We do have lots of salmonberries, lots of sword ferns, probably the same stuff that you have. We have here bracken ferns, sword ferns, cedar trees, western red, big leaf maples, uh, Douglas fir, grand fir, western hemlock, Pacific yew, Pacific dogwood. I think you guys probably have a lot of the same stuff as us being in the Pacific Northwest. We're headed up to the woods tomorrow. Check out trail cams. Oh, wow. Yeah, I wonder how that is. There's an elk on our island right now. I've seen one grouse. Oh, we got quail here. I like quail. Quail tastes good. I only tried quail once when I was on a cruise, and they were serving quail that night. It was awesome. So I had two of them. I finished one. He says, "You like that?" He brought me another one. Not very big, but I like quail. I also like those Cornish game hen things. But we have a lot of those California quail here, which you guys probably have down there in Oregon. There's lots of those little California quail like this, with funny little things sticking out of the top of their head, and they make a cool noise. I guess you need a small caliber rifle to pop those babies, right? Because otherwise, there'd be nothing left of them if you used a big caliber rifle. Yeah. So that'll be cool. Trail cams. It'd be cool to have a trail cam. My friend, his mom and dad moved up to 100 Mile House. Long way from here. It's a 12-hour drive or something north on the mainland. And it captured a mountain lion, a cougar walking right past it. It's just right on their property. It's like they have 160 acres up there. Oh, and mountain quail. Yeah, we don't have any mountain quail here. I don't know I'm not too sure what a mountain quail is. Is it bigger than a regular quail? Our quail they're like little chickens. Used with a 12 gauge for a quail? Holy cow. Now there wouldn't be much left of it, would there? I mean, I guess it depends on the range, like the distance from the quail. Close up is probably going to destroy the thing. But I guess if it's far enough away, some buckshot's going to go into it and get it anyway, right? Because that's what you use for ducks as well. Yeah, I still got to get myself a firearm. I just haven't had time to go up to the Cabela's and grab one, and then I can get into the Rod and Gun Club and do some target shooting. I like those 12. I like those 12 gauge pump action. Those are cool. And then you can put a few rounds into the chamber, right? I think you probably have something like that. You probably use those for swans as well, right? When they fly by, I guess that's what you probably get them with. Plume goes forward on the mount. Oh, interesting. Do you guys have pheasants and grouse there too? I don't think we have any grouse. I've seen a few pheasants here, but pretty rare. I think most of that stuff's been wiped out a long time ago, but an elk swam over from Vancouver Island, and there was apparently one big elk on our island. It made the newspaper. Somebody phoned me last week. She goes, "Guess what, Joe? I came face to face with an elk." She was in her garden, and she took some pictures of it on her iPhone, right? So elk, big animal. I don't want those things in our garden, man. They would totally destroy the garden. And we have our garden. We have the best part of the garden fenced, and the rest of the property is not fenced. So grouse, yes, pheasants are outside of the state. I've never eaten pheasant before. I bet you pheasant's good. Chukar. I don't know what that one is. Hungarian partridge. Wow. So partridge would be good eating too, right? Like a little chicken, huh? Hey, what do you like better? Do you eat the mourning dove too, right? Have you heard of grass trees? Yes, I have. I don't think they would work here though, Max Lax. I don't think they would like our climate. I know I've seen pictures of them. They're pretty cool. You know, our tree fern suffered a bit in the heat too. There's a bunch of burnt fronds on it. It didn't like that. It was because it's on a south wall alcove, so it did burn up some of the fronds on it. I thought it'd be a lot worse. And thank God our palm nurseries in the shade, partial shade, and dapple light of some big trees. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster in there because they're in these black pots. Mourning dove are okay. Oh, it's dark meat. You're kidding. Like a kind of like a duck. Wow. And small, right? So one mourning dove per person, right? Ducks are duck killer Clyde. So you got to get a bunch of them because one of those is not going to feed two people. I mean, I could probably eat two of those mourning doves. I'm guessing they're about the same size as a quail or smaller than a California quail. I'd like to try that too. I've never tried dove. I definitely like to eat that. But I tell you, the bison we had, oh, man, I want to eat some more of that again. Oh, Buddy's coming over next time, and he's bringing some wild boar. So he's got wild boar meat, and he says it's so good. 15 mourning dove a day. Oh, that's cool. Right on. So I guess they're just small little things like a pigeon, right? So anyway, I don't know if you've ever tried wild boar. So like Buddy Phil there, I did a live stream yesterday and he was on the live stream with me. So he's going to bring some of that over. And he says, once you try the wild boar, you'll not eat that store-bought pork chops again. He says, the wild boar is so good. And I know my buddy Hal is wanting to bag some of those over in Alberta, but he didn't get any because there's a lot of wild boar over there and the farmers hate those things because I guess they rip up the fields and make a mess. So he's going up there for elk in the late fall / early winter, and if he sees any boar, he's going to pop them. And I'd like to try some of that. It's supposed to be really good. You need to eat half a dozen for a meal. Wow.
Like a crumbly cookie. Though.
Oh, crumbly cookies. That sounds good. Are you looking forward to some of that boar? Wild boar. Yeah. Wendy will eat anything too. She's not a fussy eater. Right. Well, maybe there's certain things she won't eat. Like she will not eat duck feet or chicken feet. Liver. She doesn't like liver. I don't mind liver. I'll eat it. I'll eat anything. You know what I mean? You can cook. If it's edible and people eat it, I will try it. I remember my buddy used to kill a lot of sheep here, right? He was, you butcher them. And he says, Joe, what can I bring you? You want some liver, heart, whatever, right? So he'd show up at my door with his bucket of stuff after he butchered them. And the ram balls, right? The ram balls are big. And I cook those up. I know in the prairies, they eat them off the bulls. They call them prairie oysters. And ram balls are actually really good. They're just absolutely awesome. I know people think about the food too much, visualize it. I don't. I just cook it and I eat it. And I remember having those in the fridge. And he came over and my ex was at work. She came home late at night from the cinema and she opens up in the fridge. She goes, what the hell is that? And her mom was over visiting from the mainland from Vancouver, right? And I said, those are ram balls, big ram balls. And she's, oh, that's disgusting. So anyway, it's early morning. I get up and I'm cooking these things in the kitchen. And I put some garlic with them and some spices and some herbs. Had them all sliced up, disced up like sausages. And then they come walking down the stairs in the kitchen. She goes, "Oh my God, what are you cooking? It smells so good." And I says, "Well, it's what you didn't like looking at that was in the fridge last night when you got home." So I put some on a plate and I start eating them, and I had some veggies with them or whatever, some hash browns. And they says, "Oh my God, that smells good and it looks good." And guess what? They tried it and they liked it. Yes, you need to eat it. So anyway, I'd try anything. I'd eat swan. I'll eat quail. I am far from a vegetarian. No offense to you vegetarians out there, but I don't think I could ever be a vegetarian, man. I like meat too much. Mhm. And I think it's cool that Duck Killer Clyde goes hunting and gets your own stuff. No, Phil just left today. Max, he took us out for breakfast. We had eggs Benny at Roasting Company, Salt Spring Roasting Company. And he's got a bike. He's got an electric bike. So he's got an e-bike and rode it to the ferry. He made a reservation. You have to make a reservation on the ferry to get out of here. And he's lucky. He got on the 10:15 ferry from Long Harbor to Tawasin, hour and a half direct. He's lucky he got a direct sailing, which is 1 hour and 30 minutes from our island to the mainland. And usually it's 3 hours because it stops at all the other Southern Gulf Islands. So Phil is home right now. So yeah, Phil rides an e-bike. And anyway, Wendy went out for a rip with her e-bike yesterday with Phil. Her e-bike is awesome. It's really cool. It's like riding a motorcycle, that thing. Got the little throttle on it and the nice big tires. And it looks like an old school Harley Davidson. 1200 watt e-bike, which is pretty cool. It goes really fast too. So anyway, Phil comes over a lot, Max. When I moved to Salt Spring a few decades ago, Phil, we used his truck, loaded it up with all the plants I needed to bring from my last place near Vancouver, south of Vancouver, and brought him here. We brought 2 loads in his big truck. And then I brought more stuff in my vehicle too. So yeah, so Phil lives in Cloverdale. It's a little, it's about 25, 30 miles southeast of Vancouver, south by southeast of Vancouver. And he's got some pretty beautiful palm trees in his garden. They're huge. You can see videos of his garden here and on my other channel as well. Yeah, I will. Next time I'm over there, I'll do one. You'd love his palm trees, man. They are just flipping huge. Big ones are 30 feet tall. And the ones in front of his house got to be up close to 30 feet tall now, too. And like I say, we planted those things 3 decades ago when they were small. Beautiful palms. And they're locally grown. The tallest one actually was an import from California. But the other ones were grown from Vancouver. Just the baby, Mike's in there. I would do a live stream from the Oregon coast. When I get down to the Oregon coast next time, I would definitely do a live stream from the Oregon coast. Love Oregon, man. Like I said, my 2 favorite states are Oregon and Hawaii. So if I could live in Hawaii, I would for the wintertime. I don't think I want to live there in the summertime. I like being here in the Northwest. And Oregon, I love too. I think it's a really beautiful state, and it is in the Northwest. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the Northwest, but once you get a taste of the Northwest, I think you'd like it. And people say, well, that's all it does is rain over there. Well, that's a bunch of BS. It doesn't rain all the time here. You can see how little it actually rains when you watch my videos because I shoot videos every day. Our annual rainfall here is 30 to 35 inches, right? So we don't get a lot of rain here. It's actually the rain falls in the winter months here. That's when we get all our rain. Summer times and springs are absolutely beautiful, right? Wintertime, yeah, it can be kind of gray, but I was born and raised here and I'm used to it. But if you come from a sunny place in the winter, like the Midwest of the US, like Nebraska, and some of those other places down there where you get lots of sunshine in the winter, you probably would not like it here. And you probably wouldn't like the dampness. I wish it would rain here in the summertime. Blast off. I wish we would get rain every second or third day, a really good downpour. But look at our forecast, man. I'm not seeing any rain. It's just blue sky, sunshine, and dry. And yeah, it actually gets pretty scary here. And I really worry about forest fires. So down the road there, several days ago, part of the resort burnt down. And we drove back by there, was it yesterday or the day before? And the fire was so big that you can see the Douglas fir trees are all burnt behind it. So all 3 fire departments on Salt Spring went and they put that fire out. It'll rain near the end of September and October. Yeah, which is good. I'm good with it, man. But by that time our garden is looking pretty haggard and pretty stressed out. And right now there's a lot of stuff that's stressed, and trying to keep up with the watering really sucks. I'll have to check it out, Mike. And I see my live stream is still going okay. It hasn't crapped out yet. I think the B&B guest is going to be checking in. The other B&B guest is going to be checking in real soon. And once they get on the internet, it kind of messes me up. The other B&B guests, we have 2 other B&B guests from Alberta at the other B&B we have, and they're gone out right now, so they're not using the internet. They're probably at the Saturday market. We have the big Saturday market in Ganges, and that's a tourist trap. So I try to avoid Ganges on the weekends. Like I just go to the coffee shop, have a coffee. I went, filled up my motorcycle with gas, and then I came home. And I don't really want to hang around there. It's just too busy for me. It's just it's crawling with. You don't know anybody because they're from parts unknown. So, but everything's opened up now. It's like things have gone back to normal. Yeah, they're on the same internet as us. But yeah, I don't think we'll get separate internet. It just costs too much money. That's the thing, right? I mean, yeah, we could. I mean, we could look into it, but I think it's going to cost a lot more money. So it's all the same. We have internet boosters here, Wi-Fi boosters, because the other B&B, I'm going to point it out. I can't see it from here. See that shed behind me? It's another 150 feet that way. It's at least another 150, maybe 200 feet beyond. And that's where they are. So we have to have internet booster in her gallery. She's got an art gallery over there, and then it boosts the signal up to the other B&B. It's actually a separate tiny house. So that's where they're staying, and they're from Alberta. First time ever on Salt Spring Island, and they are liking it. And the guy came down here and had a beer with us last night. Really, really nice guy. And he says, I really like to move there, but you can't just move here. You have to have a job. Like he said, he's a counselor, a school counselor. Maybe he could get a job in the school. We have lots of schools here. We have Salt Spring Elementary, Fernwood Elementary, Fulford Elementary, Phoenix Elementary. So we have 4 elementary schools. We have 1 high school and 1 middle school. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't believe all the palm trees. It's from Alberta. No palm trees in Alberta. Well, there are in the West Edmonton Mall. So yeah, there's palm trees around where they are too. Like right when they pull in the driveway, there's a big one right in front of their fence. And then there's a really nice, another big one as they pull in farther. There we got them all over the property. And then there's some Camarops palms in front of the B&B, and just a mixed mash over there. They got their own little garden. It's kind of cool. Double hammock, king size bed in the tiny house upstairs. It's a really cool tiny house. I should actually do a video of it sometime so you can see what it looks like. Hey man, I don't need a big house. I could actually live in that place up there. And our house isn't that big. I think it's, I don't know, what is it, 2,000 square foot or something like that. So it's quite a long house, but it's not really massive. I don't consider 2,000 square foot a big house. The tiny house is 8 by 12, got an upstairs in it, right? And there's a microwave, a toaster, like a little convectional oven, water, bathroom, all that stuff. Well, the thing is, Alberta, hot summers